Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with another Disabled Vet's Perspective. I don't know if you guys might have noticed there was some event down there in Orlando last night, something about a rally. Yeah, bullshit. I was watching the whole thing. That thing rocked, and I don't know if y'all caught it. It was supposed to be some big announcements, and I believe there was one that was slipped in there kind of nonchalant about a certain 36,000 emails that somebody put in their pocket and walked out with, apparently. But I don't know if y'all caught it, but Trump said something to the effect of maybe they'll be able to find those somewhere in the State Department. And my guess is they've already found them somewhere in the State Department. So I think that was a little bit of a big announcement put down subtly as to not draw too much attention from the fake media. But speaking of the fake media, I know as we get closer to this takedown of the cabal, the media is going to become far more hostile, aggressive, and downright dangerous. And they prove that by one of the New York toilet papers, one of the New York newspapers, what I meant to say, put out a report that we, as Americans, hacked and installed malware in the Russian electrical grid. Well, Russia's made it pretty clear that their grid is not computerized, which is pretty smart in this day and age. So they've made it clear that there's almost a zero chance that could happen. But that's really not the point. The point is, let's say that the U.S. did do something like that, which, we've done some weird things in the past, so I don't put everything past us. But if we did do something like that, it's called classified. You do something to prevent your enemy from getting an upper hand if they ever decided to get uppity and come at you. Well, doing something like that where you can just hit a switch and turn off the power, you've pretty much cut them off at the knees. But if you do something like that, and then your local newspaper decides to publish that story when they know they have a worldwide audience, then what is their goal? Are they looking to start a war with Russia? I mean, do they want America to be attacked by Russia in a retaliation for screwing with their grid? The answer is yes. There is a beg right now for some event to stop the forward progress of the Patriots and to stop the release of the documents that will lead to arrest for the deep state. If you think about it, a week ago we had this Foxtrot squared that Iran used a torpedo to take out 2 tanker ships. Well, as the truth is coming out by the Japanese captain and some of the crew that were on his vessel, the projectile came from the air. So this idea that it was torpedoed or they ran over a mine or whatever their next excuse will be is obviously incorrect. And it's the attempt to create an event. A nice war would really distract the American people from the collapse of the left-wing cabal and the New World Order's agenda. So they tried this with Iran, and you had Pompeo and whatever his name, Bowden. Anyway, the 2 warmongers. I don't trust Pompeo any further than I could kick him. He's already admitted to lying, cheating, and stealing when he was commanding the no such agency, or the CIA he was in charge of the CIA. So he starts out by saying that as a cadet they teach you never lie, cheat, and steal. And then when I became director of the CIA, that's all I ever did was lie, cheat, and steal. So you can't trust somebody like that. They can smile in your face and be setting fire to your house behind you. know, you never know the difference in their tone of voice or anything. So Bolton, Michael Bolton, whatever, the same name as Michael Bolton. But those two, they're warmongers, and they want this event just like anybody else, but they don't want it to distract from the takedown of the cabal. They want it because very likely they profit from the war machine, or they get their pockets lined from whoever does profit from the war machine. I think I mentioned in another video that in World War II we had the Rockefellers and the Bushes that were both profiting from both sides of the war. Bush Sr., the grandfather of W. Bush, was supplying Germany with their weapons and their military supplies. And then the Rockefellers were supplying the other side. So, maybe wrong on that. Maybe the Rothschilds, but I think it's the Rockefellers. But either way, there were two massive family groups that were making their money on the war effort. So the more they push for war, the more you know they're running out of money. Their little black budgets and all this other shit. So you got to be really ready for an event. Look at what happened down south. 3 total countries got blackouts. Was that a practice run? Was that us screwing around saying, okay, look at this? Not us as in me, but us as in the deep state, seeing if they can still get away with stuff. Because I tell you right now, they still have a pretty good foothold in the CIA. That's no doubt. The deep state pretty much has owned the CIA since its inception. So they could be practicing, trying to do whatever they have to do to get their event, their distractional chaos, get it going so that they can keep focused on their new world order. But anyway, other tidbit of news. I don't know if you guys know this, but somebody's friend, and definitely not mine, Mr. Shepard Smith, got arrested yesterday. And turns out that he was going somewhere in Florida to find a parking space. A woman was standing in said space, holding it for her husband, who was making a quick loop to come back and get it. And instead of Shepard Smith driving on, he just runs right into the woman and takes the spot. So, another example of the left-wing psychopaths losing control, getting violent, being aggressive, but somehow they'll blame it on the woman that was just standing there minding her own business, holding a parking space. But when they say that it's the patriots getting violent, all you got to do is spend a couple of minutes looking into YouTube and look at the violent protests. Look them up, and you'll see who's violent. But anyhow, I think I need to end it at that, but I just need you guys to be aware that there's an event coming. We've got Trump announcing that he's officially running. We all knew he would, but it's now announced. And we've got the power outages down in South America. We've got the newspapers saying that we're doing secret ops in other countries and exposing it as if it were reality and trying to create conflict. Then you got bombs and missiles and all kinds of stuff being thrown around in the Middle East to try to trigger something. So when the event happens, I don't want to have to be the I told you so. I just hope you guys are all taking care of your preps, getting your water, your food, your shelter, everything squared away, because you're going to need it for a while. There's been some roaming blackouts throughout the country also. I'm not sure what that's about, but everything just seems to me like practice for an event, like all the tech companies going down and coming back up. It seems like everything's getting ready to be put on a light switch, and they're trying to get it set up so all they have to do is go click, and you're in the Stone Age. So don't choose to be a stoner. Get yourself ready. Be prepared. Look around. Be vigilant. Study your environment. You know, hang around with people you know and trust. Don't get into big crowds. All the basic, simple survival things. But anyway, if you like what I'm rambling about, talking about, y'all hit that like button. Make sure you tell your friends about me. Hit your subscribe button along with that little ring-a-ding bell. You might get a notification in a week from now. So, that's been, my wife has been getting my notifications about a week after I put up my videos. So at least we're consistent. But anyway, that's all I got for now. And man, it is definitely hot. But until next time, y'all stay in the fight.